chẳng thế ở ai thử cao thì tòa là đặt ở ai tha rồi topic luôn ấy nhưng rồi thấy những thứ món phụ tự slow rồi nó mưa sạch ok hỏi là nó chậm những chậm đào phụ topic cái này và mình chẳng những thứ ở cao thì viên miên đã nặng bà và trong rung trong ra trao để tôi bánh hàng đấy nhé và lấy những khởi thang này dưỡng đôi chia chua mà trao hỏi hỏi oh my god still coming yeah và những khởi nhóm share screen thôi nhé bạn screen nhóm share thôi nhé
yeah teacher yes
teacher I see
yeah so you saw the screen and we start new chapter today anything you want to discuss or you want to talk before we start? Yeah? You want to discuss or you want to talk before we start? Do you still see the screens?
yeah teacher yes
yes teacher
Okay, good then, okay. But the thing is that to make sure whether the screen is big enough for you. You see, right?
yeah teacher
Okay. Can you roughly explain what we have learned by last week? Please.
teacher play cái vậy đó
Yeah. What we have learned by last week, can you share? Yeah, can you share what we have learned by last week?
we have raised up as from the last week teacher have gave us some case to consider and to think about it.
Okay.
What I have remembered is the cases Khmer love Khmer that you just gave us this phrase and let us think about it and provide our perspective on these phrases.
Okay. Besides that, what else we have taught? What else we have taught besides this?
click hỏi teacher
Yes. What else we have taught? No. Okay. Anything you want to share? Yeah. Do you still see slides?
Yes, teacher,
Sorry.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Thank you so much. So yeah, maybe before we continue or before we start, I would like every one of you to really see this together. Maybe do you want to watch to watch this a little bit? Yes. Do you want to watch this a little bit? Sure. Okay.
Sure, teacher.
Sorry. Yeah, your friend is getting in, so it seemed to be like maybe I need to make this a little bigger. Full screens, but it seems like oh my god. Do you still see?
Yes, teacher, yes.
yeah teacher
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Oh my god. Yeah, I try to find the best way so that people who get in might be able to join. If I don't do this, no one can time. So I have no idea now.
I think that I can help you with Google Meet.
Don't worry. I will do it. I know how to do it. But the point is that I want you to make sure that I can also accept people who just come in, not joining, and also people who like you also watch and not interrupt you. That's why I have to do this a little bit. I know that you use two windows also when you use Google Meet, right? Or you use one window? Yeah, your friend is always getting hints. That's why it's really interrupting. Okay, can we start now? I think that we can start. Okay, maybe you can enlarge in your size. It's better, okay? Do you hear?
Yeah, sure.
You hear, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Barack Obama in 2004 was totally unknown. People were saying, I don't know who this guy is. Wonder why they picked him.
He had his reputation as a bit of an upstart, as sort of a young, rising figure in the party, but no one knew who this guy was. This was his chance to introduce himself to people.
Tonight is a particular honor for me because, let's face it, my presence on this stage is pretty unlikely. My father was a foreign student, born and raised in a small village in Kenya.
What makes a great political speech is if you can somehow fold your story into the larger American story.
The next thing he says is about his mother's family. His grandfather fought in World War II. He used the GI Bill. They settled in Kansas, so white people could say, he's just like us.
My parents shared not only an improbable love, they shared an abiding faith in the possibilities of this nation. I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible.
Going into this speech, we've had 4 years of George Bush, and we felt as a country like we've grown further apart. 2004 was very much a divisive partisan race. Obama's speech is in some ways an antidote to that.
Alongside our famous individualism, there's another ingredient in the American saga, a belief that we're all connected as one people. If there is a child on the south side of Chicago who can't read, that matters to me even if it's not my child. If there's a senior citizen somewhere who can't pay for their prescription drugs and have to choose between medicine and the rent, that makes my life poor even if it's not my grandparent. It is that fundamental belief, I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work. E pluribus unum, out of many, one.
He gives a speech that presages his entire political message in 2008, which is this sort of post-partisan argument.
Now, even as we speak, there are those who are preparing to divide us. The spin masters, the negative ad peddlers, who embrace the politics of anything goes. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
Obama was born with two great gifts. One is his mind, and the other is his ability to speak to large groups of people.
There are three things that Obama does that really makes that speech effective. He wants concrete detail. He likes story, and he loves antithesis, the use of repetition and structure to show contrast. There is not a liberal America or a conservative America. There is one America.
There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. The pundits like to slice and dice our country into red states and blue states free in the blue states. And yes, we've got some gay friends in the red states. We are one people, all of us pledging allegiance to the Stars and Stripes, all of us defending the United States of America.
The way he uses his hands, he actually points a lot, does a lot of this, a lot of this, a lot of that. In doing so, he gives off this sense of energy. I am new. I'm someone who is dynamic, and he doesn't do that so much anymore. He's a little more solemn and reserved when he gives speeches today, and I think it's more reflective of his office.
In the end, that's what this election is about. Do we participate in a politics of cynicism, or do we participate in a politics of hope? The hope of slaves sitting around a fire singing freedom songs. The hope of immigrants setting out for distant shores. The hope of a young naval lieutenant bravely patrolling the Mekong Delta. The hope of a mill worker's son who dares to defy the odds. The hope of a skinny kid with a funny name who believes that America has a place for him too. Hope in the face of difficulty. Hope in the face of uncertainty. The audacity of hope.
His appearance at that convention, which was the best speech of the convention, had been John Kerry's, was electrifying. And without it, he wouldn't be president.
I think sincerity means a lot. There are people who, when they speak the truth as they see it, and they're very effective doing that.
I believe this country will reclaim its promise, and out of this long political darkness, a brighter day will come. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you.
Thank you so much for watching this ones. I think that you have heard some things about Obama's speech, even it seemed to be short and like there is some talk, additional talk, kind of explaining, describing about how his presentation to the publics, how he uses techniques in order to attract the awareness or the interest of the publics. But this one, I just also want you to reflect a little bit when you hear his speech. When you hear his speech, maybe you yourself might notice that it seems like it's logics. It seems like it's acceptable. But I don't want to say more about this. I just want you to review a little bit. What did he talk about? Yeah, what did he talk about? Yeah, anyone volunteer? Just want you to share. What did Obama talk about? Yeah. What did Obama talk about, please? Who knows? Please.
Actually, teacher, from my side, I cannot hear him clearly. I just hear like not clear.
Okay. And how about others? Thank you so much, Mr. Dara. Yeah, and how about others?
Hello, I just catch up one point that he was talking about himself.
Yes.
He said George Skinny kids with a funny name who believes that American has a place for him. It referred to its meant before American does not support for the black skinned people like that. But for him, it's the first choice to become a president in American like that.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, who else, please? Who else? You can share. Yeah. Who else? You can share, please, if you like.
siap vậy hả bạn sắp bạn mà daily so cọp
No. Okay, no problem. Thank you so much.
Teacher, can I
Yeah,
share?
please, Nipple.
I think that he talked about political controversy. Because when he stated he talked about the United States America that is not like liberal America or conservative America.
Yes.
And the thing that we should it can be a critical point is like he said that he will bring a more perfect union.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I got from the video. And
yes.
I anything else he had me?
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very interesting. You for your sharings. So he don't want people to think that easy to say this is right wing or this is left wing of America. No, but the point is that he want to say that everybody are Americans. What you believe in, who you are, what party you are falling to, some kind like that, but you are still Americans. You need to protect America. You need to protect American people, something like that. Yeah, and for the development of that of the American country, that is it seemed to be like that. So he attract the attention of people who used to somehow feeling biased for their speech. You get my point? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Somebody else who want to share more? Any point else? Anything else? Do you hear about his his backgrounds? Yeah. It seemed to be that his background seemed to be very small, but he talks about his family biography or his own biography, like the person who described. It's a very small story, simple story, but he raised it and he put it into the public to understand that everyone have the same story as him, as he seen in his life. That's why it seemed to be more persuasive arguments that people feel like, yeah, I am also this kind. Why I have to be biased? Why I see different race, some kind like that? Because he is also fall into category of human being like us. So that is the point, that it more encouragement, motivation, attraction, and I can say that assistance to people to receive or sort what they have experienced or sought before. So that is the way that he provides speech to others. Maybe somebody else want to join. Yeah, I raised this case because it's really linked to our chapter that some of your friends asked me the question about arguments, and your friend don't understand what it means by arguments. And I'm sorry, I cannot translate it. The question that you asked me, like on Telegram this afternoon, I was in a meeting, so it's really hard for me to tell. Yeah, please. Anyone? One more person, you can talk. Yeah.
No.
You see the slide also, right? You see the slide, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I would like to really move on. Maybe, yeah, I really like to to move on, since I don't want to say this. To say yes, please.
When you just talk about acumen, I think that I'm not sure about acumen.
Okay, now we are going to discuss about this argument here in chapter 2, but maybe I would like to say a little bit in Khmer about what it means by arguments. Like in chapter 1, when we say what is critical thinking or what is critical reasoning, we know that critical reasoning is not to critique someone, it's not to find faults, but it's kind of like you try to understand the argument of someone's, and then you evaluate their arguments, and you try to find the truth in their arguments. If the argument is true, then that argument is acceptable. Like I say, if I say, and you feel like, I feel like it's acceptable, I feel like, it's really like that. So that we call the sound argument, or we can say the sound argument, the argument that make you really feel smooth in the meaning, and also really logics inside it. In Cambodia, argument we say "tek lai ko" in Cambodia. So somehow, like we say in critical thinking or reasoning, we don't try to find fault of someone, but we try to understand their claim. We try to understand their arguments, whether that argument is acceptable or not acceptable, true or false, and sound or unsound. It means that it's good or bad, it's acceptable or not acceptable in their arguments. So that's why we need to understand. We need to understand what it means by argument in that critical reasoning. Oftenly, when you hear the term argument in general English, argument it means conflicts. Argument it means the disagreements to somehow, maybe you challenge somebody else by, can be hitting, maybe also some kind like that. But in critical thinking, argument is using your words. Argument is using your words. Argument is using your voice to express what is logics, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. So what we mean by argument. That is what we mean by arguments. Can we watch a little bit about Obama again? But I find another statement. It's a very short statement, and I want you to listen to him. And do you think that is good or not good? When you hear that statement, what is your feelings? Okay, Mihmom, you want to say something?
Actually, yes, I want to hear. I want to hear your speech as well, so we can analyze about his speech, which is related to our chapter today.
Okay, thank you so much. Anybody else? Let me check a little bit, because there is another speech of him, just only 3 minutes. That is really a good speech for 3 minutes. Wait. Let me take this. Let me take this to go in there.
Telegram.
Yeah. Sorry, do you hear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher.
Okay, now I start, and you can expand
We
it.
celebrate tonight. We know the challenges that tomorrow will bring are the greatest of our lifetime. I stand here knowing that my story is part of the larger American story, that I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible. I'm the son of a black man from Kenya and a white woman from Kansas. I am married to a black American who carries within her the blood of slaves and slave owners. I have brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, uncles, and cousins of every race and every hue scattered across 3 continents. These people are part of me, and they are part of America, this country that I love. I've come here to Cairo to seek a new beginning between the United States and Muslims around the world, one based on mutual interest and mutual respect. Just as Muslims do not fit a crude stereotype, America is not the crude stereotype of a self-interested empire. To say that force may sometimes be necessary is not a call to cynicism, it is a recognition of history, the imperfections of man, and the limits of reason. I'm here to honor the courage of ordinary and the trampling hoof to their North Star. Blinded by hatred, the alleged killer could not see the grace surrounding Reverend Picnic and that Bible study group. The light of love that shone as they opened the church doors and invited a stranger to join in their prayer service. The alleged killer could have never anticipated the way the families of the fallen would respond when they saw him in court in the midst of unspeakable grief with words of forgiveness. He couldn't imagine that. And while this nation has been tested by war, and it's been tested by recession, and all manner of challenges, I stand before you again tonight, after almost 2 terms as your president, to tell you I am more optimistic about the future of America than ever before.
Sorry. It seemed to be a lot to say, to listen to this, but would you like to listen to the last statements, these statements again? Would you like to hear it again? I don't know whether you remember it. I also don't remember, but I just want to.
Future of America. I am more optimistic about the future of America.
Rather than the first one. Or if you are interested in other statements that he made, maybe you can share your ideas.
The statement ណាទៀត
បាទមាននេះសូមទោសខ្ញុំនិយាយខ្មែរខ្ញុំអាចនិយាយខ្មែរថាជាស្រួលជាង
Teacher និយាយពី last statement ដែលគាត់និយាយមកហ្នឹងមែនទេ
Yes.
Teacher, I just want to make sure once again, could you replay the last statement again so that I can make sure that what I heard is true?
play against.
After almost 2 terms as I stand before you again tonight, after almost 2 terms as your president, to tell you I am more optimistic about the future of America than ever before.
Yes. You get the points? Sorry?
Yes, I got it, teacher. Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think?
Chẳng về bị
Yeah, if you want to share, please, you can share. Somebody else.
Teacher, can I try?
Please.
Okay, I will speak in Khmer.
Yes.
កន្លែងចុងក្រោយមិញហ្នឹងតាម perspective របស់ខ្ញុំគិតថាដូចតែយើងមើលឃើញជាក់ស្ដែងថានៅក្នុងអាមេរិកគឺវាចម្រុះជាតិសាសន៍មានជាតិសាសន៍ច្រើនមែនទែនដែលរស់នៅតាមរដ្ឋមួយៗហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងទៅការរើសអើងពូជសាសន៍ការរើសអើងពណ៌សម្បុរអីគឺវាមាននៅស្រុកអាមេរិកហ្នឹងវាយូរមកហើយអញ្ចឹងជាពិសេសកើតឡើងទៅលើជនជាតិស្បែកខ្មៅអីអញ្ចឹងគឺត្រូវបានជនជាតិស្បែកសរើសអើងពណ៌សម្បុរពួកគាត់អីអញ្ចឹងទៅអញ្ចឹងទៅគាត់អា statement ដែលគាត់និយាយថាI'm more optimistic about the future of America ហ្នឹងគាត់ចង់និយាយថាបើសិនជាគាត់ជាមេដឹកនាំជា president របស់ America គឺលក្ខណៈថាគាត់នឹងមានសន្តិភាពនិយមជាងដូចថាគាត់ spread កំណត់សន្តិភាពនិយមហើយការដឹកនាំរបស់គាត់អីគឺបែបសន្តិភាពនិយមដែលថាគាត់ព្យាយាមស្ថិតនៅចំណុចកណ្ដាលមួយដែលគាត់អត់លំអៀងទៅខាងណាមួយឬមួយក៏គាត់ព្យាយាម spread discrimination អីចឹងណាទីច្រើន
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Somebody else? No? Okay. Yeah, maybe I know that at least we spend times, even how you interpret it, don't mind. But I just want you to go back to the slide of the sessions, and maybe when you go to the slides, you will be able to see more on that. Okay. Yeah, maybe you are able to see more on that. Okay. So now you can see related to oh my God. Now you can see related to chapter 2, right? We say do you see the slide?
Yeah, teacher, yes.
Yes, teacher.
But when I expand it, do you see it?
Yes, we do.
But now you did not see it, right?
I can see, teacher.
You see, but it's only small, right?
Yes. Yes, teacher.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So now do you see it?
Yeah, teacher, yeah, I see.
Okay. I try to make it easier for you so that I am also easy to see it. Okay, thank you. So this one you can see related to chapter 2, we talk about arguments. Like I say again, when we talk about argument is not about conflicts. Easy to say. Argument, it's all about your claims that you provide and make this claim that it is acceptable, it is true, it is strong, it is weak, it is right, or it is wrong, some kind like that.